Did you know that before Piqué became a defensive rock at Barcelona, Sir Alex Ferguson did not rate him highly enough at Manchester United? Also, during Mourinho's time at Chelsea, he didn't see Kevin De Bruyne as an important player. These are just few names. There are other stories like Samuel Eto'o and Pep Guardiola, Toni Kroos in Bayern Munich, Rafa Benitez on Xabi Alonso, and lots more. In this video, we will be talking about 3 times a manager has been wrong about a player. Before we continue, please take a moment to subscribe and hit the notification button for more videos like this. The first one is the story of Sir Alex Ferguson and Gerard Piqué. In the summer of 2004, a teenager arrived at Manchester United from Barcelona's famous academy, La Masia. His name? Gerard Piqué. Sir Alex Ferguson had seen enough promise in the young Spaniard to bring him to England, but the move came with risks. The Premier League was a brutal physical battleground, and Piqué's elegant ball-playing style didn't exactly scream English centre-back. At first, he was patient. He trained alongside Rio Ferdinand and Nemanja Vidic, 2 of the finest defenders in the world. But breaking into that partnership was nearly impossible. When he did get chances, doubts began to creep into Ferguson's mind. Could Piqué really handle the relentless pace and strength of Premier League strikers? The events of one fateful night in November 2007 seemed to seal his fate. United faced Bolton Wanderers, and Piqué started in defence. From the first whistle, Kevin Davies, Bolton's centre-forward, targeted him relentlessly. He engaged him in a lot of aerial duels. Piqué struggled and United lost 1-0. After the game, Ferguson was furious. He saw a defender not strong enough, not aggressive enough, not ready for English football. That night, Piqué's future at United all but ended. By the following summer, Piqué had made up his mind. He loved United, respected Ferguson, but he wanted to play. And at the same time, a familiar club, Barcelona, came calling. Pep Guardiola had just taken over and was building something special. He saw in Piqué what Ferguson did not, a future leader. And for just €5 million, Barcelona brought him back home. What happened next was nothing short of spectacular. Under Guardiola, Piqué blossomed into one of the world's best defenders. He won 8 La Liga titles, 3 Champions League trophies, and even lifted the 2010 World Cup with Spain. He became a defensive pillar, forming a legendary partnership with Carles Puyol, the kind of pairing Ferguson had once dreamed he could have at United. Years later, Ferguson admitted that Piqué wasn't a bad player, just not the right fit for England at the time. But history tells a different story. United spent years searching for a replacement, struggling to find a defender as composed, intelligent, and successful as the one they let go. Another one is the story of Arsene Wenger and Zlatan Ibrahimovic. It was the year 2000, and a 19-year-old Swedish prodigy named Zlatan Ibrahimovic had the football world buzzing. Playing for Malmö FF, his combination of skill, strength, and arrogance was already setting him apart. Word of his talent had spread across Europe, and top clubs were taking notice. One of those clubs was Arsenal. Arsene Wenger, always with an eye for future stars, invited Zlatan to London to discuss a potential move. Zlatan, intrigued by the idea of playing in the Premier League, made the trip. He even posed for pictures wearing an Arsenal jersey, a sign that everything was going smoothly. But then came the moment that changed everything. Wenger, known for his meticulous scouting process, asked Zlatan to take part in a trial before finalizing any deal. To the Frenchman, it was just standard procedure. To Zlatan, it was an insult. Zlatan doesn't do auditions, he famously responded. For him, trials were for unproven players. Not for someone who already knew he was destined for greatness. Without hesitation, he rejected the trial and walked away from Arsenal's offer. Instead of joining the Gunners, Zlatan signed for Ajax, where he began his journey to becoming one of football's most dominant strikers. Over the years, he won league titles in Italy, Spain, France, and beyond, scoring over 500 career goals and proving himself on the biggest stages. Meanwhile, Arsenal spent years struggling to find a world-class number 9 who could have transformed their attack. Looking back, Wenger admitted his mistake, later saying, "I missed out on some great players, and Zlatan was one of them." He was a 17-year-old boy playing for Malmo, and he came here with his parents. "But I don't regret it too much. He was already at the level where he didn't want to do a trial, and I understood that." The last one here is the story of Jose Mourinho and Kevin De Bruyne. In 2013, Chelsea had a young, highly talented Belgian midfielder in their squad, Kevin De Bruyne. He had been signed from Henk in 2012, and after a promising loan spell at Werder Bremen, he returned to Stamford Bridge full of confidence. Many believed he was ready to make an impact in Jose Mourinho's Chelsea team. But Mourinho saw things differently. Despite an impressive pre-season, De Bruyne found himself struggling for minutes. Chelsea's midfield was packed with stars like Eden Hazard, Oscar, Juan Mata, and Willian, and Mourinho didn't see De Bruyne as essential to his plans. When the Belgian started in the opening game of the 2013-14 season, he provided an assist, but his opportunities quickly faded. Frustrated, De Bruyne demanded answers. He wanted to play. Mourinho, unimpressed by his attitude, publicly criticized him, saying, "He was not happy. He was knocking on my door every day. He was crying every day that he wanted to leave." Rather than fight for his place, De Bruyne asked for a move. Mourinho agreed, and in January 2014, Chelsea sold him to Wolfsburg for just £18 million. Many thought it was just another failed youngster leaving a big club. But what happened next shocked everyone. At Wolfsburg, De Bruyne exploded. In the 2014-15 season, he registered 21 assists in the Bundesliga, the highest in Europe at the time. Suddenly, every top club wanted him, including Chelsea. But it was Manchester City who made their move, signing him in 2015 for £55 million. A price that looked high back then, but turned out to be a bargain. Under Pep Guardiola, De Bruyne became one of the greatest midfielders in Premier League history. His vision, passing, and ability to control games made him City's heartbeat. He led them to multiple Premier League titles, FA Cups, and a Champions League, winning the PFA Player of the Year award twice. As De Bruyne dominated in England, Mourinho was often asked about his decision to let him go. He later admitted, "It was not my decision alone. I wanted to keep him, but he wanted to leave. In the end, he proved he was right and I was wrong." For Chelsea, it remains one of their biggest transfer regrets. They let a future Premier League legend slip through their fingers, one who would later haunt them in a Manchester City shirt. There are many other stories like this, like Claudio Ranieri and Frank Lampard, Louis van Gaal and Angel Di Maria, even Cole Palmer, and Pep Guardiola, or Mo Salah in Chelsea. But these are stories for next time. So please subscribe and stay tuned for more videos like this.